go. What's up, y'all? This is Key Audio with Just.Flow. I'm here with my guy Smilez, my classmate. He's a local barber here in Salisbury, and we're going to check out his creative ventures and things that he has going on. So, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Shoot, thank you for being here. This is cool. So, this is the second episode. And I'm just excited. I'm happy that we got this going and people are really feeling the vibes of it.
Yeah,
So
this is my first podcast being on, so
really?
yeah, I'm a little nervous right now.
Okay, yeah, no worries. I'm nervous all the time. Yeah, like you know me, I'm always behind the scenes, so this is very, very new. So what you got going on currently?
Right now, just barbering. Picked up photography, and also I do law terms here and there. So I do a little bit of everything. Anything with art, I try to be in it. I'm planning art show sometime, but I don't know when that's gonna be for pictures that I take. So
Okay.
that's usually where I'm at right now.
Oh, that's what's up. There is a gallery, I want to say it's on the other side of this block.
I think I don't remember the name of it, but I have seen it. It's probably near like the coffee shop that's around here, I think. I went in there before. They do have entries that you have to go through to try to get your stuff in there. But I think for me, I'm still like I want to do it, but I'm not sure I want to do it. So I haven't looked into it anymore today. So
Okay.
one day.
Yeah, for sure. Like when the time is right, you'll come to it. So, when it comes to your art, it's called Long Street Smiles, and from what I've seen, like I like the aesthetic that you have with it. How did you get into it? Like, what inspired you to get into
As
it?
far as for the photography or the photography and videography stuff,
Yes.
so I used to always take cameras from somewhere. Like I'd find cameras that wasn't working and stuff and just carry them around my pocket. I don't know why, but I would just
Oh.
carry them around in my pocket. I started off with the ones that I forgot. I think it was like 12 megapixel things that zoom out just about that much. I got that just because I was just interested or fascinated by cameras and stuff. So I would get it and carry it around, even if I was like, one day I'm gonna find a battery that works for this, but
Yeah.
I never got to it. And I always wanted a professional camera, mainly for pictures. And I always had ideas of any of my haircuts. I want to post them up on my wall and stuff like that. So one day I was able to purchase my first professional camera, and I was just like, now I'm about to start doing this. So I went from doing pictures in here to doing landscape. Then I started doing sports photography because I was like, that's a way that I can try to figure out how to learn my camera a little bit more about taking pictures of stuff that's moving and not so much stuff that's sitting still. Because I'm not really into like portrait photography unless I'm like, I just happen to catch somebody sitting somewhere or something. But I'm more of like I forgot the name of what, I ain't adventurous, but like a
Action.
action photographer. Yeah, I like stuff like that, stuff that you almost can't recreate again. You have to
Exactly.
get it in that moment. So I like the excitement that comes from doing it. That's knowing somebody else might not have the same picture again. So I like doing stuff like that.
Okay. So, where are you going? Like, are you going to the high schools or the colleges?
I've been a little everywhere. I went to middle school. I've been to college. I've been in high school. I think right now I've taken a break from like sports photography for a little bit because things sometimes people don't know things happen in sports photography where people may not want you to get access to certain places. You may not get media passes. You have to be a headache or somebody be a headache to you trying to get access to different places, be able to take pictures, and it kind of take a toll on my like stress levels. So I kind of like for the last few maybe 2 months or so haven't really been into. I don't think I've taken any pictures other than in here since like the last 2 months or so. But
Yeah, because it seems like that's something you truly enjoy
yeah,
from a creative space. Yeah.
I got into it. And to answer your question, going back, I think I also got into it too because like 2018, I was going to like therapy. I lost my job and stuff with the state. I was working for Stonewall Jackson, and I had an anxiety attack. My first ever time having an anxiety attack at Stonewall Jackson, and I thought I was gone. I ain't gonna. I'm
Yes.
serious. I'm
I feel
serious. I thought
you.
I was out of here. I was in the room, and it hit me like something happened. I think it was like the constant. We was in class for like 10 hours a day, and it was like a 3 week training thing. We had to take a big exam at the end of it.
Yeah.
So they had already let us work there, but we had to work there with promise to go get to take the exam and get certification and stuff like that. So they would constantly tell us, man, remember at the end of this court, at the end of this training, you gotta take this exam. You don't take the exam, you won't have no job. So I'm like, man, it was just me and my son at the time. I was just like, man, I need this job. Barbering wasn't where it's at now. So I was like, kept going into odd, like, let me say, I'm gonna call them odd jobs because that ain't what I wanted to do. So I kept going in back and forth to different jobs and stuff. And I ended up having an anxiety attack thinking about like, okay, we got 2 more weeks of this. I'm not retaining this stuff they give me in class, so I think this exam not gonna go good. So I'm already thinking like, man, I gotta think about what I'm gonna do once I fail this test. That's what I'm thinking. And that time I went to the room one particular time. We all had our rooms by ourselves, and I was in my room getting ready for bed. And one of them hit an anxiety attack. First one hit, I didn't know what it was at first. I went to therapy and she told me what it was because I've never had one before. So something hit me and I was just like, oh man, what is this? It was like 5 minutes long. The next one was like 45 minutes. I was just like, I was walking, pacing back and forth. I never thought to open the door. I was just pacing back and forth like, man, this is it. I sat on the bed and I was just like, dang, God, I'm going out like
Right.
It's funny now, but boy, at the time, I thought that was it. I was like, man, ain't nobody gonna find me in here. Is anybody gonna miss me? I'm serious. I was thinking about, I was like, man, this is crazy. But I ended up making it obviously out of there. The next day I went and asked somebody for if they had a therapist on campus, and she was like, no, we don't have anybody. And they ended up sending me to call my facility, and facility sent me back down there, and they basically let me go because I was like, what you call it? They felt like I needed assistance to work there. I couldn't work there without assistance, so I had to go to therapy for like 3 months or so. That's when she was like, oh, you got general anxiety and severe depression and all this type of stuff. So me finding things, barbering, I've been cutting hair, but I never looked at it like as a coping mechanism or something like that to keep my brain off of stuff. Yeah. So I started doing it, and then when I was getting close, I wouldn't not think about the stuff, but being the clips is going, people talking, I couldn't stay on that subject. It was always like, okay, I'd be on it for a little bit, then my brain would go somewhere else. And then when I would get home or go to places where it's quiet and stuff, it'd come back when I'm off work. So I was like, okay, now I'm about to start. That's why I got into doing other stuff with the camera, because I felt that same thing from barbering. It basically shut everything out while I was taking pictures and stuff. So I think being an artist, a lot of times people have them depression things, and that's something that kind of, it's like something that pushes them out of wherever they feeling right now, help them do it instead of resulting into like drugs, alcohol, and stuff like that. Yeah. And I don't do either, so I had to try to figure out something, and thankfully I went to therapy, and it kind of helped me find healthier ways to deal with stuff. So.
All right. So, who's your favorite hip hop artist?
J. Cole.
J. Cole.
Yeah, I'm a J. Cole fan. I used to have all his CDs from. I always had the mixtapes. I had to download those because I never found the actual CDs. Couldn't get a hold of CDs. But my first actual album that I bought was Salisbury Story, and then I bought. I take that back. It was Born Sinner. Was the first one I ever bought. But in college, when I was my freshman year, is when Salisbury Story came out, and that was like bumping all through the hallways and all this stuff. But J. Cole is my favorite artist. And I think since I don't know if you've seen the interview that he had recently with Apple TV or something like that, and he was just talking about like how stuff made him feel and listening to stuff. A lot of times I feel like that's my favorite art because a lot of the music he put out I can relate to. Yeah. Like I love Kendrick Lamar too. I like Drake music, but I can feel like it's almost like I'm reading a book when I'm listening to J. Cole music. Exactly. So I think for me that's why he's my favorite hip hop artist.
Okay, dope. That was going to be my next question. What's the mixtape? Was it Friday Night Lights?
Friday Night Lights.
That was how I got introduced to him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was the warm up. I don't know if the warm up was the one we had. Man, he had the band. It was a music video. He had the band in it too, and he was like walking down the street in this thing. Any other time I can think of the name of that song, but I can't think of the name of the song for nothing. He had a brush cut, and he was Who Dat. That's what it was, Who Dat. Yeah. When I first heard Who Dat, I was like, man. Then I heard, I don't know, feel like I'm going back and forth, but I don't think the name of it was called Love Yours. 'Cause Love Yours was later on. It was something when he had the brush cut again. It was a video he was talking to a girl back and forth about a kid that they was getting ready to have and all this type of stuff. And she was like, I thought you said you didn't want to be like your daddy, but now you turned into him. Like one of them situations. When I heard that, I was like, man, he's a storyteller. Like I like that's why I feel like it was a book to me. Most of the stuff he put out was like I was seeing it when he was rapping about it. So yeah, I think
Dig that. So to segue to that, or to segue in general. So I saw that you have tiny ones.
yeah, I have
So
3 of them.
yeah,
3 and done. I'm done.
okay.
I'm done.
You saw him.
Yeah,
That's enough for me.
I love my kids, but I'm 35 now. I think my patience is I
Yes.
think I know I had a lot more patience when I had my first child. A lot more patience. Now it's like, because so much stuff has happened since my first child. I'm
Yes.
still learning how to raise a 9-year-old. He's 9 now. My oldest one is 9. The other one, my son, just turned 4, and then my daughter just turned 2. So it's yeah, it's I love them, but I don't want any more.
All
Yeah,
right,
I don't
that's
want
what's
any
up. Well,
more.
it's true. I feel you. I feel you. Like once Jay, I feel like once he got into his toddler stage, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
because
And now having 3 of them, they all have different toddler stages. And some 2-year-old stages of all 3 of them was a little better, a little not
yeah,
so good than the other. So boy. And
yeah,
then my last one was a girl, so that I'm now seeing a big difference because my first 2 were boys and then my last one was a girl. My recent one was a girl, so yeah.
yeah. And it's like you get to see yourself
Yeah.
reflected in
Which
it.
is very scary.
It
When I
is.
first and I had my first son, my baby pictures was like right on with his. People
And
all and it's like neither one of my children have my first name, but all of them have my middle and last name. So all of them is Elijah King. No matter what their first name is such and such Elijah King. All of us. So
that's
it's 4 with
cool.
the same. So I would like and love if when they got older, had kids, they kept that
Yeah.
going. Such and such Elijah King. I want to keep that there because, and going back and forth with my daughters, with my wife, my daughter's mom, she's had a when we trying to figure out the name, I was like, I want her to have a middle and last name also, and then it was like she was like, no, that's a girl. That's a girl. She don't need Elijah. And I was like, yeah. I said, but if she's lucky enough to get married, that last name is going to leave.
Yeah.
So I said, that's one name that ain't going nowhere. Her middle name is still going to be there. So I looked
Right.
at it as naming that because that's a family name. That last name could be permanent or temporary, depending on who it is that she chooses to marry. That could be last name could be a temporary name. So I named all of them purposely like that. And I wanted to name my second son after me because the first time when I had my first child, mentally I feel like if I gave my first son my name as a junior or something, I feel like not so much bad luck or karma, but I wasn't in the place that I felt like I wanted to pass my name on to him because I didn't know if my name going to him was he gonna get some of the rough
Right.
stress stuff from that I'm carrying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to give him my name. So when the second one got here, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this with my name.
Yeah.
And then I was like, nah, if I do that, the first one will be like, Daddy, why I ain't get your first name? So I was like, you know what, ain't none ain't none I'm
Right.
getting. So it ended up working out pretty good because my second son, my mom said he the way he act, he's like me, similar. He looked like me, but certain ways he act is not like me. So I was like, okay, I'm cool with all of them have my middle and last name.
Okay. Like yeah, that's very unique. I like that.
And I was thinking about George Foreman, and you know how he had I forgot. I think he had named all his kids after him. I think all of them I think it was George Foreman. All of them got his middle name or first name or something too. And I didn't. I think that's where I got the idea from. But I thought I
Okay.
was like, okay, I'm gonna keep all of them middle and last names. So
I didn't know that.
yeah,
Cool, cool.
yeah,
So what I do love watching you with your kids is, especially with your sons, is bonding with them through cutting their hair. Like the questions that you ask and the things that y'all talk about, I really admire that.
yeah. I'm glad that I cut their hair because I'm saving money.
Yeah. Okay.
But also, also too, my oldest son, when I first started cutting it, I cut both of their hair when they turned one. So some people wait longer, but when they turn one, I cut their hair off because I was just like, I'm gonna just at 1 years old, they're walking around, they know what they're doing. All both interactions were different. I cut my oldest son hair when he was asleep. I held him in my arm and I cut the clippers on. He kind of like
Yeah.
shook and stuff, and I just went ahead and just cut it a little slow. And eventually, he just sat there. He sat through the whole shape up. My second son, he was just more of like looking around because I cut his in a barbershop.
Yeah.
So he was more just like looking around, seeing everything. The barbershop was open then, so he was
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, this is a bunch. So, but now he asks for a haircut. The oldest one don't like getting haircuts no more, but the second one asks for haircuts all the time. He called him a basketball cut or something like that. He, bald head or something.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, he want a bald head. I don't know why he called it a basketball cut, but yeah, I think I like cutting their hair too. I can tell it's very much a bonding thing too. Even from my oldest son, don't mess my hairline up, or that's
Yeah.
what he's telling me now. Like, don't mess his hairline up. And I'm like, you're 9. Like, I'm like, you don't pay for your haircut. He talking about, yeah, but when I get old, eventually I'm gonna have to pay you. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna charge you or nothing like that for a haircut. But he feel like when he get older, he want to pay me for his haircut when he get older.
That's
So I was
fair.
like, I said, all right, I'll wait till you get older then, because I
Right.
remind you all these cuts I gave you before. I need all that back.
Man, okay. How did you get your start as a barber?
My daddy tearing my head up.
Oh,
And then if
oh
you see
man.
this, I'm serious, man. My daddy was tearing us up. We didn't know he was getting tore up to like 6th grade though.
Oh
So he was
man.
killing us
Yeah.
all the way up to then. I take that back. My uncle was tearing our head up because he was giving us bowl cuts. Like what fades now,
God.
what I know what fade is now, he would start the fade. Like he would start it, but it wouldn't blend. It would just
Okay.
like cut everything around here bald and leave the hair on the top
Yeah.
with a straight line. Or we used to get the rainbow. Like he used to cut it into like a thing like that. And my dad, thankfully, didn't make us keep that when we started getting older. He would just wouldn't touch it. He just cut everything even haircut. And I think I got into it because there was times I wanted a haircut, and my dad was working at he was a truck driver and he was working at a warehouse. So he would come on. We was almost like latchkey children. So well, we were latchkey children. Like when we get home, when we get ready to go to school in the morning, they're either already gone or asleep. When we get back at the house, they're not there. It was one of them situations. So I was always want my haircut, and I was like, Dad, I need my haircut. I got this coming up. I got this coming up. And we only went to the barbershop like every blue moon or so like that. But he was like, my cousin was over there. He took us in the bathroom and showed each of us how to cut each other's hair, like looking at the patterns and stuff like that. My dad was a cosmetologist. He was a mobile cosmetologist. So he done relaxers, perms, roller sets, all that type of stuff. Like he went to school for it. So I was fascinated with him doing hair in general. But I knew from how the bag, size of his bag, he had to carry around with all them chemicals stuff. I knew I didn't want to do women hair because I was the
Yeah.
time consumption in it. Like it takes hours for certain things that
Yeah.
women get done to their hair, and I was like, nah. I like the idea of changing somebody's hair, but I didn't want to go that time limit of doing it.
Yeah.
So I got into it from my dad. By the time we got to 6th grade, people started picking and stuff, and it was like, oh, he ain't got no haircut or he ain't got no shape up. And I was like, Dad, I said, look, we got to do something. So he took all of us in there and showed us how to do it. And I think I'm the only one who took it serious because he taught all of us, both of my brothers, cousins, and stuff. But when I got to high school in foods class, she was asking everybody what they wanted to do and all
Yeah.
that type stuff. And I was like, I'm going to barber school. Even though I ain't know what barber school was, I ain't know how much it cost, how long it was going to take. I was just like, I'm going to barber school because I was already cutting in middle school
Yeah.
up to high school, but nobody else knew. I was just cutting my family members and stuff. But by the time I got out, when she said that, I was like, oh, I'm going to barber school. And then people laughed. So I was like, when people laughed, I was like, I'm about to do this for real then since y'all laughing. So as soon as I got home, I was like, Dad, I need to find a barber school. I want to go to barber school. He was like, for real? I was like, yeah. And my family that I come from was more of like work. After you get out of high school, you need to find a job.
Yeah.
Like we wasn't like certain members in our family had already went to college, but my immediate family, nobody went to college. Like my mom and dad never went to college. So I was the first person to go to college. So I went outside of trade school. My dad went to trade school, but after that I ended up going to college. But my dad being a cosmetologist, me seeing it, me wanting my hair cut when I wanted to cut, and he was too tired to do it. It kind of made me want to take it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So now here's almost 17 years later,
Yeah.
I'm still cutting. So
Cool, cool. So I see you doing a lot of fades. Like, do you have any like styles that you like to do the most?
fades.
Fades, yeah.
I like fades because it's similar. Some people hair is everybody head shape and stuff is different.
Hmm.
So certain fades that fit on certain people's heads don't fit everybody's head.
Yep.
So some people can be like, oh, I want this. Some like you remember when the posters used to be on the wall.
Yeah.
Them I never understood why they made them posters because people with heads that didn't look like they would come. I want a number 3. Or I want a number 21, and they either don't have the hair for it or the head ain't the size of that. So it's all gonna come out different. And we have to explain to people, like even in barber school, they showed us shapes of heads, like what hairstyles fit better on certain heads. And when we tell people that don't know about that, it's almost like they assume that we can't do it. It just, we know it ain't gonna look right
Exactly.
if you get this type of hairstyle on there. So like the round, the triangle face, the rectangle looking face, certain hairstyles don't look right on them heads. So I think for me, fades, because it's challenging. I don't like being comfortable too much. So fades is definitely challenging. I'm seeing different hair textures and facial shapes and stuff. Like somebody can get the same haircut, 2 different people get the same haircut, but something either I'm gonna put the fade lower or higher. Cause me, I had a knot on the back of my head. Me, I got like this knot on the back of my head. So I know when I used to get low fades, I would have them to put the fade darker up under, so it basically would make it not look like. So basically, certain fades give illusions to head shapes and hairstyles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I like, that's why I like. I used to set up in the city park down in Salisbury and do $5 fades like every other weekend. Like before I got to where I'm at now, I would stop and I would just set up down there and do $5 fades for like 4 hours. And sometimes people wouldn't show up, and then other times people would come there and pay $5. So I think for me, it also influenced me to go into doing hair shows. And once I started doing it, so I think fades after anything, even haircuts is the quickest and the easiest thing you could do. But I like fades because of the challenge. So yeah.
That's cool. Yes, and I recently started learning that because I had gotten to a point, maybe when Jay was around middle school, I was like, I need to learn. Because at that time I was working too much and I was like, I don't have time,
Take them to the barbershop.
So, especially being in entertainment, I'm mostly working the weekends. So, started learning through locticians. You know, they was telling people to be aware of how they get it started due to their head shape, or you'll put too much tension on. I was like, dang, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so so I'm growing mine back out now. I got my hat on because it's looking real unruly right now.
I feel you.
But and I don't even mind it because any other time, right now it's how it's shaped up. Giveon album came out, and I'm a big Giveon fan too. So when his album came out, he had his mustache cut like I call it like the Eddie Murphy style thing with the little goatee, little chin hair, and the thin mustache and stuff. So I did that. So that's why I'm growing it like I'm doing now. But I usually have a beard or something like that. But I like the whole don't look like I cut my hair or whatever the case may be. I like that look. It's more of like a rustic, I guess it's like thing. But being in the barber industry, people look at me like, I remember giving somebody my card in Chick-fil-A because her son had a haircut, but it didn't look like he went to the barbershop for the haircut. Like it just looked bald. And I'm sure they not gonna know who I'm talking about. But it just looked bald. And I was just like, oh, you cut your son hair? She was like, no, he go to the barbershop. I was like, oh, okay. And I gave her my card. I was like, well, if you need a backup barber, I'm available. And she looked at my head like that. She said, how you gonna get somebody a hair, your card in your head looking like that? And it was like any other time I would have felt like if it was first into it, like me getting in the barber, I would have felt some type of way. But I had already been in it. I just laughed at her. I said, I choose to walk around like this. So I pulled up my Instagram. She was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
When she seen my picture, she was like, oh, you can cut. I was like, yeah. I said, I just choose to look like this. But that's why another reason I don't wear a whole full of locks, head full of locks, because to me, I don't think that would fit me. Even my personality, my head shape, I don't think a full head of locks would fit me. That's why I have the fade on the side and the hair on the top of it, because it fits like my unserious personality sometimes. So I think I like that, how it looks on me. So thankfully going to barber school, I never knew that though, about how to twist your hair and stuff like that until after I got into it, like how you lay it down. Because some people, when they do locks, they lay everything down or put all of them to the back. I have a big forehead too, so, and receding hairline, so I don't know I don't want no twists coming
Yeah.
back this way. So all this 2 or 3 rows, anytime I get it retwisted, I get them to the front. Or
Okay.
even when I don't get uniform twist either. So I get all of them just wherever you can catch them at, just twist them the same way, just all over the place. So by the time I get it done, it just be sticking up like this.
Yeah.
That's why I had the Bart Simpson thing up there.
Okay. Yeah.
When I was in school, they called me the Black Bart Simpson. So by the time I came in here, I had an even haircut, and I don't know when it's Shy up there, but I don't remember her Instagram name. But I sent her a picture over, and I was like, "Can you take this picture, make it a Black Bart Simpson, put a part on there?" And then he had a star, but I wanted my logo to be on the face, so that's why the whole Black Bart Simpson thing came from. I would have went with that as like a branding thing, but I'm pretty sure the Simpsons probably wouldn't have let me to do that, so I just was like, whatever.
Yeah. Cool, cool. Well, I appreciate you for offering your time.
I appreciate you for thinking about having me on this, especially for episode number 2.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, trying to work with people's schedule, you know what I'm saying? So it's time consuming and everything, but I want to keep it going.
Yeah, I can tell. I can definitely tell that you love it, because if I was doing a podcast, I just would have set the camera up and was like, okay, I wouldn't have had
Here
no
we go.
mics, headphones. It just would be like, whoop, I recorded it. All right, I'm going on. But that's what I do with my law term things too. So I do the same thing. Well, not with this setup, just a little mini mic I put on my chest or something to go ahead. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Hood Law Terms, brought to you by your guy Smilez. A lot of these niggas don't know what these terms mean, and I was one of these niggas. So let me help you out. Today's term is going to be preponderance or preponderance of evidence. Jurisdiction. Be replevin.
Your series, Hood Law Terms, break that down for us.
I'm a criminal justice major. I graduated from Livingstone College in 2015 with a criminal justice major as a with a criminal justice degree. I think I got into law terms because when I was in law school, I was a criminal law, like I said, criminal law major. So when I got into college, I never knew I was going to school for criminal justice, but my advisor was a criminal justice chair of criminal justice. So he was my advisor. So by the time it got me declared major, I was like, well, I'm already been going over here. I'm going to just go to this. Because I didn't go to school for no degree. I wanted to play sports.
Okay.
But I knew when I got there, I had to do something.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, whatever. So I ended up getting into that. And I was supposed to went to grad school right after undergrad. Me still being first generation college student, I barely made it out of undergrad because, like, not so much the grades, but my mind was just like going to class, all that type of stuff. This ain't for me. My parents was telling me, oh, you got this, you got that. Everybody was depending on me to graduate. And I was just like, why y'all depending on me? Like, that was stressful. As much as they wanted me to finish, it was stressful because I'm like, man, now I don't want to let them down, but I don't want to let me down either. So I ended up going through finishing. By the time I graduated, before I graduated, I was going these mock trials that they were, and I was a defense attorney. And that is when I kind of had an eye opener for criminal justice system. Like when I started learning about blue collar stuff and what actually happens in law if you have money and don't have money when you get into certain situations. A lot of things are based off of your status, basically, or your status and your ethnic group when it comes to criminal justice and laws and all that type stuff. So, and I knew a lot of us didn't know certain things. Like even when we was in class, when she would talk about stuff, I knew about certain things because I had family members that knew law stuff and all that type of stuff. So it would always come back, or family that was on the other side of the law, and we found out stuff through whatever they went through that we didn't know. So I think for me, once I got out of school, I always thought about going to to be an attorney or something like that. But now I don't want to do criminal law. I want to do civil law. So I was like, dang, until I decide or get to the place where I love it that much more to go to school, because to me, I have to love it, because I know if I don't, I'm not going to finish.
Exactly.
So one way of me trying to basically keep that feeling, that keep coming back and not lose it, is basically I'm like, okay, now I'm going to try to teach people certain things they may or may not know about the law. And the first thing about knowing anything before you start actually knowing the laws is knowing the terms. Because one thing I found out with getting into doing my hood law terms is a lot of terms that we use every day don't mean the same thing in the court. So it can be the same exact name, same exact everything, but it means totally different things. Like
Yeah.
from us having a conversation now compared to if we was in court having court and the judge used a certain term, that same term may not mean the same thing as us having a conversation right now. So,
Interesting.
and a lot of people don't know that. A lot of stuff I'm finding out myself too. So it's helping me also. So I honestly did it for myself to start out. And then I was just like, okay, I'm gonna post it because I always used to read a dictionary all the time, and it's crazy because now I don't remember unless I get angry. I don't remember none of the words. If I'm trying to hurt somebody's feelings, then I go look for the biggest word. I'm like, if I'm trying to hurt someone's
Golly.
feelings, I go look for the biggest word because I'm like, I'm gonna insult them and they don't know they being insulted. That's why I was coming up with the terms with. I'm about to use this,
That's
but
wild.
it is very wild. But I understand law. Like if I assault someone, I'd rather insult someone than assault someone because if I insult someone, they may feel some type of way, but I'm technically I can't get in trouble for that. Like morally, somebody can be like, "Oh, you wrong for saying that," but assaulting, I have to go get a bond. I get bonded out. Got to get an
Yep.
attorney, record. I don't want none of that. So I have enough family members that I love very much that go through that and experience them things without me having this experience it myself. I've always been a see it, learn it person. I don't have to do it, learn it. So I think for me doing, I'm sure I'm touching a lot of people that are also see it, learn it people. So they can see it or hear it, learn it. So if they see it or hear it, they be like, okay, now I don't have to do that. Or now I know this does this, now I can go do that. Like I said, the last few terms that I feel like I didn't know, like especially when it comes to civil, because I used to do a lot of criminal terms. Then now I do a mixture of civil and criminal, and civil law terms is to me very important to me because I went through civil cases recently, and a lot of stuff I was just using my law background from criminal law to file certain stuff because I couldn't afford an attorney for all the stuff that you had to file stuff for. So I was learning myself all over again, but this time I was learning from a civil side instead of a criminal side.
Yeah.
So a lot of terms I use now, look up now, is very helpful to me because now I know if I get served or somebody do this or somebody I know get served, now I can be like, okay, well this just means this or go do this means that.
Yeah.
And being informed about the law in a place that's ran by law is very important to me,
Exactly.
if anything. So even if I don't have to use none of the stuff I'm learning now, my kids are gonna know something by the time they get older and get close to anybody assuming they done something or anything like that. I want them to be knowledgeable about certain laws. Even stuff that we don't even have to learn, like you could see it, like especially for black people going through certain things with law and stuff, going out to courts and stuff. Certain laws were made to work against us and other laws were made to work for other people. And some of that stuff we don't have to be taught it. We just see it every day. So I would rather my kids and anybody else I can that looks at my law terms to be able to kind of help themselves and they ain't got to pay for it. So
Exactly.
just share it, comment, and I'm open to like people hit me up all the time about like hey, what's this mean? Or how do I do this? Or how do I do it? Even if I don't know, I know how to look. I know what to look up to get that answer because of my small history of criminal justice or law stuff. So, and I plan to keep doing it. I used to do it every day. Now I'm doing it like every 2 days, because every day I used to get burnt out. I love doing it, but it was like the editing process. I was just like, I don't like editing. So if I can get on here, record something, just throw it out there, I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But now it's like, man, I can't do that because if I did, it'd be 50-minute long things on there, and I don't want to do that because I know people attention span, especially with how social media is working now, people attention spans is a lot shorter than anything. So
So what's the difference between criminal and civil?
criminal is everyday stuff you see every day: assault, murder, uh, theft, burglary, anything that someone does mostly to someone in a, I want to call it hurtful manner, like physically hurtful manner. That's what I want to say. Or it could be financially too. It's crazy because somebody could steal something and that would be considered criminal case because you just got a theft charge, a burglary charge, but you could have took money from somebody and it's still considered a criminal charge. But if I was to go out here and a company, so a company did this to me recently, like we hired a company to do our fence and deck at the house. They never finished the deck. They tore the fence up and the money ran out basically for them to finish the stuff. So they called us like, yo, we need y'all to do another loan or something like that. And I was like, oh no, we're not doing another loan because just like if I do another loan, they got to pull credit again. I said, we're not doing it. We got to prove y'all didn't finish the work, blah, blah. He was like, okay, we're going to sue you for not wanting to pay us, basically. And that made no sense in the situation being that we already did a loan.
Right.
But the reason that was a civil thing, because it looked like we didn't want to pay them for something. So they came after us for a certain amount of money. So if somebody sue us for defamation of character, what's it called? Mental, when you emotionally mess somebody up or something like that. Mental health situation. Like if a job let me go because of mental health, technically not supposed to do. They're supposed to have, of course, there's loopholes and stuff. But they let you go wrongly if you get hurt at the job or something like that. Those are civil cases. So me hurting you right now, that would be a criminal thing because I'm late. Or you jump on me, that'll be a criminal thing. Yeah. If somebody come in here and take a gun out and point it to you, or take a knife out, point it to you, and it's like, oh, you better do this, you better give me this. Like, them things are considered criminal stuff, like stuff that people, in a sense, do daily. Everyday things, them can be considered criminal things. But companies against other people, or people suing people for certain things, like how somebody could claim somebody done something to them, and they only go to them for money. That is a civil case. So like the whole Diddy situation that came up, everybody that went after him was only going trying to get money from him, even though he quote unquote allegedly done criminal activity towards these people. They went and pursued him with civil stuff. So they could have went and say, I want to press charges, but it wasn't that type of situation. They pressed civil charges, basically. They were trying to get funds from him, trying to get money from him. They didn't want him to go to jail. They just wanted him to pay a whole bunch of money.
So how does that, how is that not able to be classified as a criminal case?
It would be if that person that was pressing the charges went at them for criminal, or went to the law for criminal matters, or wanted them to be hurt in a criminal manner. So it could have easily been criminal. They wanted him, I lock him up because he did this to me, or he done it. That could have easily been done, but that ain't what they done when they went to go do it. What they done is they was like, we want this amount of money. Basically, like, they just want some money. So that was civil. That's when it turned into civil, when they went to him for this money. They call it damages. When you have to go to someone and be like, I want this for my damages, or my stress that you caused. I want this amount of money, all that type of stuff. That's what people do when it goes to civil things. Now, if they would have, and they probably went that way too, because they probably couldn't prove the criminal stuff that they had going on. So if you say that somebody done something, you have no proof of it, then it's like, it's probably gonna get thrown out. Because in criminal, you got a lot to prove. We don't have that much to prove in criminal situations, unless it's like something that you got hard evidence and stuff like that. Civil cases is basically like I hope he telling the truth. You got to have evidence too, but at the same time, it's like you get enough people to say it. Bill Cosby situation. Yeah. That turned into civil and criminal, because they still sent them to jail for certain things. And people do go to jail for civil cases too, but it's more like corporate level of certain things. Like Bill Cosby went to jail for the Quaalude thing, allegedly something that women came forward and said like that. But the same people was suing him also for money, for damages. So it's like some people get hit with both things, and I still haven't figured out. I don't know much about how somebody can do both ways, but that's usually what it is. And I think in them situations, it's more than just that person that's claiming that stuff to make sure you get in there for certain things. Like the Tory Lane situation, that was criminal. Nobody went after him for a certain amount of money. Meg didn't go after him for money. She went after him because, he shot me in the foot. That was a criminal thing. So she didn't go after him for money. So that was a situation where she could have been like, after he shot me in my foot, I missed this many shows. I lost this much money. Now I'm coming after him. I need this money back that you made me miss. She turned that into civil, instead of it being like, I want him to go to jail for hitting me in my foot. It was one of them situations. So to me, that's how I put civil and criminal stuff. It's somewhat the same, but it's separate. Yeah. Most civil stuff is like dealing with money, like big money or small amounts of money. Most people go try to get big money. If they can't get big money, they don't think they're going to get big money, they don't want you to go to jail. Yeah. It's either your time or your money. That's what people go after this word, time or money. Right, so true. Criminal is time. Yeah. Money is the civil thing. Okay. Yeah, unless both of them is together, then you go to jail and get money spent, like Diddy done.
I could not imagine. Could
Boy, I'm
not
telling you
imagine.
that's why I think for me, I ain't gonna say civil is more important, but when you start owning stuff or having business and stuff,
Yeah.
civil is way more important than criminal because you don't get a business and expect to go do criminal activity. You're not
Exactly.
planning
Yeah.
to go do criminal activity, but you still can be sued as a
Yep.
business. And so I want to know more about it because I have my business. That's why some people have LLCs and stuff like that because that's limited liability. So if I was in here as Daniel and I'm cutting hair and somebody say, "Oh, he did this to my hair. He made this pop up my hair," they want to sue me. Then they can be a civil case. So he made some break out my head. They could be a civil situation. But I'm Smilez Tha Barber LLC. So if they decide to sue me, they can't sue me because Daniel not cutting their hair. Smilez is cutting their hair. So when they go sue Smilez, whatever Daniel got in his name is safe.
Yeah.
So that's why certain things like that, because civil I think is very important for people to have businesses and aspire to have businesses or don't want nothing to come up in their business. I think it's very important to have some type of civil knowledge.
Yeah.
Because you don't, and like I said about that could have been a civil situation if I would have branded myself as the Black Bart Simpson or something like that, and the Simpson like, oh, he making money off of this. They can either send me a thing and be like, oh, he's small, so we gonna make him tell him cease and desist or something like that. Stop what you're doing. You making money. We didn't approve this. All that type stuff. Like the dude that was making the shoes that looked like the Air Force Ones, and he went to court with him. They went to court, and Nike won, basically saying he used their silhouette and how to make the shoes. That was a civil case. He had to pay money and he had to stop. So it's situations like that when people feel like either they can get over on you or they want to get over on you. That's how I look at it. Or you trying to stop somebody from getting over on you. But most of the time, it's small people going against big corporations or big companies. So,
Yeah. And I just saw a post about that today. And it was something. It was a case that I hadn't seen in a while. Donald Glover, when he did "This Is America."
oh yeah.
Yeah. So he apparently won that case.
I didn't know he was in what. So who was suing him?
The artist who did a song called "Made in America."
Oh,
So I don't know. It was
see,
so
and
old.
that's a thing too. When you get into like when you doing music stuff too, like people can sue you. You knowingly sample that, you can automatically be sued if you don't get it cleared.
Yeah.
But doing stuff that you felt like, that's why it's like I'm not understanding for the most part why people are even able to sue for melodies, for the cadences and all that type stuff, because it's like, dang, how many different ways can you make a beat?
Exactly.
How many different ways can you sing a melody? Like
Yeah.
somebody's stuff is the same. You can't sing, you can't change chords. Like everybody's gonna use the same chords in something. So music is music. Like music is music. Like J. Cole, that's another reason why J. Cole's he talked about it on Forest Hill Drive, the end of Forest Hill Drive. Like you put the stuff out there that inspire people. How you have the access to tell me I can't use it when you use the same stuff? Like you was inspired by somebody else, the reason you made yours.
Yeah.
So people being able to go to court and be able to get money from people that was inspired by something they done, I don't agree with that. I'm just like, you had a good song, you had a great song. Just like Shaka Khan, I think she was suing Kanye West for Through the Wire. And he, in the video, he had her picture in the video, like stood beside her in the video and everything. She was suing him for that.
And it's like with certain songs like that, it's like no. When you hear that melody, you know it's Shaka
You know
Khan.
it's Shaka Khan.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
It's some stuff is just so big. It's pointless to even try to go to the point of law. Like we know that's your song.
Exactly.
Everybody knew it was your song. For him to go at even if I didn't know it was your song, when he went by you and stood by the picture in the video, I would have been like, who was that lady in the thing? I would have looked it up. And I think he even had a name on the thing too, like in the video. So I'm just like, you didn't get enough credit then. But some people, they need that check. But they only want it because I'm sure Simpsons probably done seen me mention somewhere about whatever. Somebody attached to the Simpsons probably done seen something, but they like, oh, he ain't getting enough traction. So it's pointless to go after people that don't mean anything to you at that moment.
Right.
But once a person start getting some type of traction, start getting money from it, then it's like, okay, now we need to get involved. Because it's only want to shut you down when they feel like you start getting too up there and you ain't compensating or you're not acknowledging them.
Right.
Like right before I think that's why I went around here and turned all my logos around on my stuff that I got in the shop. before we started the podcast. I turned any product I use, I turned it around because
Yep.
it's still looked at as some sense of advertising for them, like free advertising. They don't need my help.
Yeah.
I need y'all help.
Feel you on
They don't
that.
need my help. So I'm just like, if they see, if the video takes off, which I hope it does, if it takes off and somebody be like, oh man, he got that stuff in there, I wonder, is that my stuff? I'll tell them, yeah, I use this product, I use this, as long as the check come behind it.
Exactly.
Because right
Then
now,
we'll put
yeah,
it in
right
the
now,
description.
I put it in the description.
Yeah.
Right now, it's I don't know what product I use. I just go buy stuff. But
There's a lot of companies that have that bottle.
yeah, a whole bunch of companies.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep doing my civil law terms because yeah, you never know with having business and not having business. I see criminal stuff all the time, so you hear criminal stuff like
Yes.
where I stay at, the ambulance fire department every single night comes past. So somebody criminal is always gonna be
Yes.
there. But civil
Yes.
stuff is a lot of stuff you don't hear about. Like people, it's probably people every day going through civil cases. Somebody suing them or they trying to sue somebody.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, either cases don't go nowhere because of the money that cost it. And I'm not gonna say too much now, but I'm in the process of suing a university down here for being banned off of campus for no reason. Literally no reason. They banned me off the campus. The campus I've been at for years, not Livingstone. So I'm just saying it's not Livingstone College, but but it was a school that I was taking pictures for, doing stuff. I even got hired by the same institution, and I went over there after I finished that season that I was done with for that team. I went and go do another team. And soon, about 5 minutes after getting there, public safety came and gave me a letter and was like, you have to leave the campus. You got, like, we don't want you on the campus no more. They was, you made somebody uncomfortable. Now, matter of fact, I'm going to say the name. It's Catawba College. Catawba College. Because I'm like, it stressed me out because I'm trying to hope somebody is not offended by what I'm saying. And they didn't care about what they did to me. So Catawba College kicked me off the campus. I've been at this college going over there since I was at Livingstone. I've been going over there, taking pictures, doing videos. Even before then, I was cutting hair at the student events. I was performing with the ADP, the music programs over there. I've been over there for years. The last 3 years, going on 4 years, I've been taking pictures and videos for free for 7 of the sports teams over there by myself, making reels for them, taking pictures. I took thousands of pictures for Catawba for their sports. And all of a sudden, I made somebody uncomfortable, and they just got me out of there. So,
Wow.
yep.
Well,
So I'm in the process of that now. So, Catawba. Yeah, it's very unfortunate because it's a lot of, you look at their sports teams, most of them are made of African Americans.
Yeah.
Football is majority African Americans. Basketball, majority African Americans. Track, majority African Americans. Both basketball teams, actually, the girls and the boys. So it's like,
You know,
and the
but
sad,
we see that.
yeah,
We see that across the board.
yeah. But it's
Yeah.
crazy because when I tried to go here in Salisbury to try to find an attorney to take the case up because I knew I was done wrong, I was told by an attorney's office here that you might want to get somebody out of Salisbury. When I called them.
That makes sense.
And I assumed that's why anytime I called them, I never said the name. I said I was banned from an institution wrongfully. And they would talk and talk and talk. Then they'd come back and be like, what institution did you say it was? And I was like, I never said the name. They was like, oh, what institution was it? And I'd tell them, I'd take a deep breath because I already knew what it was. My deep breath was just informing them I know what they're about to say. Not that I'm upset. I just know what you're about to say. So I take a deep breath and I was like, it was Catawba. And they was like, yeah, I don't think we take those cases. I'm like, oh, okay. And he was like, yeah, you might want to find somebody out of Salisbury. So when I called someone out of Salisbury, the first person I found, I don't remember the attorney's office, but they was like, they listened to my whole case on the phone. It was like, it was going to be $365 for a consultation to come in and speak to them to see if I had a strong enough case or see if they would take my case.
Yeah.
And then if they did, it was $400 and something an hour after that. So I'm like, bro, if I had that money, I wouldn't be suing them for money. If I had that money, I'd just be like, man, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's why I think civil is important too, because enough of us, people in general, need to know certain things on how to be able to take care of these situations because big institutions, big companies, they do that all the time to people that they feel like don't got the money to fight. Even rap artists say it all the time, you ain't got no money, don't go to war. And it's basically one of them situations. You know you been, and it don't mean. And a lot of times people don't go to civil stuff. It's because they know I ain't got the money to fight. I ain't got the money to or the resources. They have all the resources. All the big companies. A company that did our fence thing told us before we even lost the case. He was like, I know they're gonna rule in our favor. We're a multi-million-dollar company. That's what the CEO told me. So they do stuff just because they feel like they got the money and power. They feel like, yeah, we know you done you wrong. It's like, okay, what you gonna do about it? Nobody gonna believe you. You ain't got no money to talk to no attorney. And that's the thing. I feel like if enough of us knew certain laws, especially criminal stuff, I feel like we knew all the criminal laws, a lot of us wouldn't be doing criminal activity because this stuff is to set you back for a long time. Like literally, like your generational wealth is gonna be from stuff you do in there, your name that you done spread around in them institutions. Like they make so much money off of us when we go in there monthly, yearly, and we don't get none of it at all. Like they're quick to put us in there, we don't get none of it. But with civil, they like we gonna do what we want to you. So to me, I feel as bad as I felt because it still feel like some form of slavery. Because it was just like, yeah, we gonna do what we want to. We gonna let you come over here and do this, but when we tired of you, ready to go, you got to go.
Yeah.
And they even told, Katabi even told me, don't reach out to no student athletes, which is where I was making my money from taking pictures. And I would reach out to the kids because I don't know that not kids, but they college. So I'm reach out to them like, hey, I got these pictures. This how much I charge. Do y'all want these pictures? All the type of stuff. I was told after I was told that I made somebody uncomfortable. I was told that, or the letter was like, don't reach out to nobody on social media. Don't reach out to no student athletes, not no students, no student athletes, because it seemed like they in a sense they was trying to tell me you can't make no more money over here, basically. So the college, the team had already done paid me money for the season that I had finished. And I think part of the problem was when the tax papers came out and the college actually seen how much money they was paying me for just doing that season, they probably was like, yeah, we don't need him making no more money over here. So I feel like it was sense of that, and I could have made somebody that was writing the checks uncomfortable. I don't know, but the fact of doing it, and I was like public embarrassed too because I was at a beach volleyball match. I got in the match was packed. I got outside my truck for about 5 minutes. I probably took 7 or 8 pictures, and he walked over and gave me the letter. Called me outside the fence by my government name, not Smilez, but by my government name, and I don't even know this officer. And he had he even had the shop address on there, so that was different to me too because nobody knew my shop address. I never worked with nobody, and none of my checks came to the shop for that job. None of that. So they had the shop address on it, like they was going to send it here. So I don't know what all went into that thing. I never was talked to before getting banned. Usually in them process, when you get ready to ban somebody, you know you about to get banned, or you feel like you know you under investigation.
Yeah.
That was never the case. I was like, I told them if that was the case, I wouldn't have came back to the school. Right. Like if I felt like I done something, I'm not coming back over here.
Exactly.
I'm over there like daylight taking pictures. I'm inside the gate, like in the sand, like taking the pictures and stuff. And I got called out, and then they walked me halfway to my truck. When it was time for me to go, so I was just like, dang. And people that knew me that I built relationships with for 3+ years, looking like, dang, like, and now none of them talk to me no more. The coaches don't speak to me no more. Cause I messaged a couple of the coaches, they don't speak to me no more. Some of the athletes over there blocked me or unfollowed me. So I don't know what they're saying about me over there. So they probably assassinate my character over there. But the fact that I can't say nothing and can't go over there, I can't defend myself.
Right.
So now it's just like whatever they say goes at this point. Yep.
That's weird behavior. Because I mean, especially if you got skin in the game, is
and I've been over there 10+ years.
Yeah, that's
10+ years. I know people that's in places of power over there, and I sent emails out to the president, to the provost, everybody in the cabinet over there. I sent emails out to and never heard anything back. 2 emails, never heard anything back. So it basically was like, whatever. That's what it's been. And that's when I was talking about my pictures, taking pictures where I haven't did nothing 2 months. That's why I haven't did anything, because it's like, dang, I went over here for my mental health, and then going over here for my mental health, doing all this stuff. And because it wasn't for money, because for the longer 3 years, I wasn't getting paid nothing. I was just going over there doing it, building up my page. And after that happened, I was like, dang. Like, I thought I was close to the coach that hired me. I thought I was close to the team that complained about me or something like that. And it just seemed like once they was done with me, they just was like, all right, you got to go. So I haven't had that need to go in because I not a fear, but I don't want to feel that again. If somebody feel some type of way like that again, right while I'm
Yeah.
in this space, I don't know where that's gonna put me in. I don't know if it's gonna put me in a criminal
Mm-hmm.
mindset or have to sue some more. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm like I just took a breather from it. I
Yeah.
still love doing it. I love the idea of doing it, but right now I'm cool with taking pictures of sports events. So
Wow. I'm
yeah.
sorry that that happened.
Yeah, for the first 2 days I carried the letter around my pocket. I was just
Mm-hmm.
like so shocked,
Yeah.
like how this happened to me. Like
Yeah. Because you're trying to make
I
sense of
try to
it.
do things that not get banned.
Yeah.
I'm telling the truth. I'm making hood law terms. Like why would I go do something hoodish when I'm making hood law
Mm-hmm.
terms, and especially at the PWI. I was
Right.
just like at Livingstone. I probably could have did something and got away with it if I actually done something, whatever made somebody complain. I don't even think Livingstone would have even banned me for making somebody uncomfortable, because you have to, like, what did I do to make somebody uncomfortable?
Yeah. Because there's a certain decency and
Yeah,
respect. You know what I'm saying? Like
but
there's a warning or
it's
something.
nothing like, and I feel like making somebody uncomfortable is still in the same vein as harassment. So meaning I have to say something to this person or do something to this person, and then they have to tell me, I don't like
Yes.
this. I don't want to talk no more. I don't want to this and that. None of this stuff ever happened about nothing. I didn't even know nobody felt uncomfortable with me. I just got a
Right.
letter and was like, you got to go.
But you taking pictures.
Yeah,
You
and
know, you know.
it when the letter didn't even say why I got banned. They told me I'm banned to further notice. They said it was unappealable. And they also said unappealable. That's why I was like, unappealable. Like, they basically, it was it called indefinitely, banned me indefinitely or something with no explanation. So I
Wow.
have no clue about nothing.
Okay. Well, yeah. I hope it all turns out
Yeah,
well
me
in the
too.
end. Yeah.
If I do, hopefully I can purchase Katab.
Okay.
I'm joking now. I don't want that school, but
Shoot.
I do.
Yeah.
But
Like you're doing something positive. You're doing something to you're of service. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's essentially a uh, a service position, and for them to do you like that, I like they don't necessarily need to be shut down or anything. I'm not calling for anything
yeah,
like that, but it's like some transparency
yeah.
needs to happen.
Nobody that made the band or none of that talked to me.
Mm.
None of them chose to reach out to me, talk, and I don't reached out multiple times. I'm like,
Yeah.
and if I'm guilty of whatever y'all say I'm guilty of, why would I be reaching out to y'all? Like, I'm trying to show you. Like, at this point, I don't even want to be unbanned. I don't. I just want y'all to straighten my name up or whatever y'all
Exactly.
saying.
Exactly.
Cause to
And
me,
I
like,
want
I
you
have
to
a
start
video
growing.
of my now 4-year-old son when we was over there. I took them to a volleyball game. My two youngest kids, I take them to sports all the time at Qatar because sometimes it don't be as packed as Livingstone stuff,
Yeah.
and it's not as hard to get into as Livingstone. So I would take my kids over there, and my youngest son would tell me he want to play running back at Qatar. That's never gonna happen now. I don't care if he's 5-star recruit or whatever. He's not going there. And if when it come up, that would be said. Like, once it get to the point that he's this football player he believes he's going to be, and they have a chance to try to grab it, unfortunately it's not going to happen because y'all should have done right by his parents. And
Naturally.
and that ain't the case. Like, so I'm just like, man, and sometimes I even had a video. I used to make vlogs and stuff all the time when I was um, working for this team, shouting them out. And I'm a blue bear, so shouting out the Indians and stuff like that all the time was like unnatural for me. Like, I was like, man, I'm not no wearing no katana or nothing. And then when I start working for him, I was like, man, this ain't as bad as I thought. Like,
Yeah.
and then boom, that happened. I ain't worn nothing katana since. And
I
I
bet.
like the stuff, like good
Yeah.
quality stuff, but I was just like, dang, now I'm about to take it to the thrift store
Dang.
because I don't feel good wearing it no more.
Yeah.
And I had to build up to wear that, so now I'm just like, whatever. I just go
Dang.
buy more Livingstone stuff.
I'm so weak. That's when you got your whole bachelor's.
Yeah.
So, but shoot, like it's much appreciated that you do hood law terms. Like when I first saw it, I was like, yes,
Yeah.
that's something that we need. And going back to when you were talking about words that we use daily that means something different, and I might be interpreting this in the wrong way. But the last one I saw you do was bona fide. So
That's something that was used on. It can be used in court and out of court. That was something that some terms mean the exact same thing, but depending on where you use them at. So bona fide, I always used to hear like movies, bona fide hustler. I never heard nobody say I'm bona fide. They always say I'm a bona fide such and such. When I seen it in movies or people using and stuff like that, but it literally means the same thing. Like
okay,
it means that I'm my brain just locked out on me, but I know one part of it is they don't have no ill intent. They are not trying to deceive anybody. They're real. Like what they're saying can be, you can stand on their word basically. So in so many words,
credible.
yeah, credible. That's very credible. That's what bona fide is, meaning it's real. Like so that's what bona fide means. But the same thing I hear, I can say I'm a bona fide barber. And some people like it would be weird to me to even say I'm a bona fide barber because it just why
Because
would
it's
I put that
always
together?
yeah,
You
it's
understand?
always used in
Yeah, it's
like
always used in
street.
other things, street terms and stuff like that. But now I never knew it was used in court until I looked it up and I was like, dang, I've never heard it in court myself. But I do know that it's used in court. It's so many terms that it's a lot of terms out here for court terms. I think they even have a legal dictionary. I think my uncle used to have one. But a lot of them terms in there is the same terms we may use for other things, for school or whatever. It mean totally different things in there. So I think that's why I think I'm still, if I can find one now, I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna go look for one of them books just to read now. I think that'll help me out a lot when I get ready to do the terms. So
So do you have is there a word that you can think of now that we use normally but it means something different in court?
out of all the terms I done, I can't think of, like I said, maybe when I get mad about something, the
Yeah.
term will come right back up.
Yes.
But
Put it in the comment
yeah,
section.
I put it in the comment section. But I don't know. I'm interested in learning more now. Like it's like when I say it now, my brain just like go ahead and flush it out. Let's the term come up again. Let's like I see it again. I'm like, okay, now I remember. I looked this up. Now I remember I studied this. Some of the stuff I can look up 30 minutes before me getting ready to do it, and that be my first time like knowing what's actually going on with the maybe my first time knowing what's actually going on with the what that term is about 30 minutes before I get ready to record it. Because
Right.
most of the time I go look the stuff up when I'm taking my kids to school in the morning. By the time I look at it and I look up the term, I look up the term, then I look up the definition, 2 or 3 different definitions from different places. Then I get on YouTube and have it explain it to me more. And like so that's one of the things too. I try to say it. That's why I call it a hood law term, because some people, how some of them terms is written in the dictionary, you have to get somebody to define that term. You got to get somebody to define the definition, because the definition usually still be to a place where if somebody is reading it, that when they heard it, they didn't understand what you just said. You still have to define that definition now. So I try to find different ways and try to put it in my own word that's like simplified to listen to. I never understood why books or teachers or anybody try to explain stuff to you, but they have to explain it in the most horrific way, like the Chinese arithmetic way, in a sense of like, why do you have to go down this many times, say this way just to get to this, what this mean? Like
I
it's
feel like that's how you know they don't really have their own understanding. They just
they read
regurgitating.
it's yeah, they're going out of the book. So I that's why I don't know who made that series of such and such for dummies. They need to make law terms for dummies. I don't know if they got that for you, but I'm a dummy when it comes to law terms. I don't care how many terms I done looked up. I still consider myself like I'm still learning. And one thing I love about one of my barber instructors told me, to be a great barber, you always keep learning. So I don't never get to a place I'm just like, I know I'm better than I was,
Yeah.
but I don't never want to get to the point of being like, I can't learn no more. And I'm the same way with the law terms too. So somebody can tell me something now. Somebody can get in like, oh, I know this term. I'm gonna take it in. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna read it. I'm like, okay, now I know this. I might use it on my next thing. So I don't. When people look at it, I want people to understand I'm just like everybody else. Like when I'm doing this, me saying is not the saying. So that's why I said I like in my thing I say something about, I don't know if I can say the N word on here, but
I mean, you can bleep it out.
so I was like, my thing is, welcome back to another episode of Hood Law Terms brought to you by Smilez. A lot of these niggas don't know what these terms mean, and I was one of these niggas. niggas. The reason I came up with that, and I don't even know how I came. It just came when I started doing it. But it was telling people that you may be in this place right now, but learning these terms, you won't be that person no more. You won't be one of them people that don't know these terms no more. So it's not me putting nobody down when I use that term. It's like I was one of these people too, because not knowing something means you're ignorant. That's why I would say I was one of these niggas. So being a nigga could be anybody.
Like that.
Yeah,
I
so
like
that's
that.
why I use that term. It's not necessarily, it's not, so it's not just talking about black folks. Like anybody can be ignorant. So that's what I use that term and why I'm using it, because I was ignorant until I understood this term. Now I'm not there no more.
Right.
Every term I do, I was always still a nigga when I read it. But once I understood it, now I'm like, okay, now I ain't no nigga to this term no more.
Yeah.
So I was just ignorant to certain terms. That's why I kept using it. Like my oldest son be like, Daddy, can you not say that? So one time I did an episode with him, and I was like, I was one of the people that didn't know it. He was like, thank you. But I had to do that because he didn't understand why I was using it the way I was using it. He just heard the word, and he knew that wasn't like a good word to use or people to call him or something like that. But and I think too, it's probably off the subject, but people hearing that all the time growing up, like, it don't bother me if somebody of another race called me that. Because I hear it and I just be like, okay, like, what we about to do?
Right.
You gonna do something behind that word, or you go just say it and keep going? Because what happens is we usually get offended by it because it's like, we know they ain't supposed to be saying it. And then we go get a charge. Now we paying thousands of dollars for an attorney, or they not getting nothing. They just get a warning. Oh, don't call nobody that. That's disrespectful. So that's an insult. But then we assault them. Yeah. So which one would you rather be on the side of? So that's why I said I'd rather insult somebody than assault them.
What do I want to say? Because I wanted to bring up the fact that you are creative. Like hearing you more and more now is like, yeah, this man is a creative, and I want to say it a certain way.
Everything in here has an artistic background.
Exactly. Okay. And when we first came, I was just so happy that Jay was getting his haircut. I was stressed out at that time, but I was like, I still got a good feeling, from the space. I was like, yeah, and that was like one of his best haircuts.
I appreciate it.
Yes, no problem. He's going to his Uncle Calvin now because that's who he grew up with. Yeah.
I understand. My family members, I got family members that I barely cut. And it's because they've been going to a certain person, a certain barber there the whole time, and I'm understanding to that. Yeah. Like if they can't get to them, they come to me and hit me up. Like I'm not one of them barbers that you don't come to me, I don't want to talk to you no more. I'm not like that. My instructor always told us to keep advertising. That's why I keep doing what I'm doing, building my brand, because people can move, people can pass away, people whatever, and you still have to keep going. You still have to keep working and stuff. So that's why I check on people. Like I be like, hey, I hope you're doing all right. Like some of them all the time, like people I ain't seen in years or something like that I used to cut all the time. Yeah. They be like, man, I'm doing good. I be like, all right, just checking on you, whatever. I tell them I'm not wanting you to come get a haircut. I'm making sure they know. Like I'm just checking them because I keep, like, especially people I've cut for years, like on and on for years, and then they end up moving or something come up, they can't come in no more. I just check on them because I'm just like I still feel like you're my client.
Exactly.
I've cut you for years, like, so I don't care if you're going somebody else or going across the country or state or whatever. I'm still cool with it.
Yeah, and that's very rare. I feel like a lot of people respond in an odd way to stuff like that because they're just not used to people being genuine.
And they also too get content with their clientele. See, I'm never content with my clientele. I'm happy about my clientele, but I'm never content with the fact that they're going to come to me every single 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. I'm not content with it. So I'm more of like I appreciate them when I'm cutting their hair. I appreciate it every time they come, but I don't be like they manage it. We ain't signed no contract, so it's like that's why I tell everybody too. We don't have a contract. If you go somewhere else, that's cool. We don't have a contract, so I'm still gonna talk to you. Like I can see you somewhere and still speak to you. Like I'm okay. Like I'm gonna be okay. Like so I'm gonna make. That's why too. It's back in the sense of putting too much control in other people's hands. So if I was like some other barbers that feel offended by you going somewhere else and they feel like, oh, you can't come to me. I don't give you that much control. Like
Yeah.
when you come here, you're my client while I'm cutting you. You're my client when you go somewhere else, and if you keep coming back, you're my client now. You're not a customer anymore. You're a client.
Yeah.
Customers are people that I may not talk to no more, may not see, and that's okay. Customers and client, I'm cool with everybody, but I'm not one of them barbers. I've seen barbers do it and say it before though. Nah, stay over there. You've been going over there. I'm not like that because anything can happen. And
Right.
somebody may have to come back to you, or somebody you have no choice, but you got to go get that old client again. You got to accept that old client.
Exactly.
So I'm just like,
Exactly.
no, I ain't burn. My grandma always told me, don't burn no bridge with nobody. So the first place, so that's why I'm not burning the bridge with a specific person at Catawba. I'm burning the bridge with Catawba, the institution, because people over there, I still know people over there at the school. So I'm not burning the bridge with no specific person. That institution I'm burning the bridge with because I may not agree with that institution, but them people gonna change all the time. Maybe another president 10 years from now. Same people that banned me from the team, they may not be there no more. So I'm still gonna have a sore spot or feel like a thorn in my side. I feel like from that whole situation happening, and nobody tried to talk to me about it. So
Yeah. So do you get a lot of our classmates? I see Tristan a lot.
Tristan comes in
Yeah.
here a lot. I don't know if you know Garland
Mm-hmm.
Archie. He comes in here. CJ comes in here. Reggie's came in a couple of times. I could probably 20, 25 of people, maybe 20 people, like off and on. Like if they in town, because some of them, because Tristan doesn't even stay here.
Mm.
So some people that's coming into town for certain things, or maybe here for this.
Yeah.
I cut some of them, but I cut a decent amount of people from North though, but they necessarily wasn't our classmates. I knew
Mm.
them; they were in school when we were there, but I wasn't their classmate or something. But I do
Yeah.
cut people from North. But I think the reason that I don't cut as many people that I feel like I'm eventually be cutting is because a lot of their barbers are still cutting.
Yep.
And I came in as one of the youngest barbers here, so now everybody's still, even though I'm 16 years in, people still have to still learn me, have to still be comfortable with coming to me or being. Again, they might have a barber that's like, oh, don't go, you going over there, stay over there. It might be one of them situations.
Yeah.
So I don't never try to take nobody from nobody. I assume being a barber now that somebody has a barber. So now when I approach people now, I say, if you need a backup barber, because I don't mind being a backup barber. Some people feel some type of way. Well, you coming to me, I don't mind being a backup barber. As long as you paying what I'm charged, I don't care
Yep.
about being your backup barber. You can
Yep.
book anytime you want to, as long as you paying my money.
Right.
So I'm like this. So I do not mind being a backup barber, because sometimes being a backup barber, it's a lot of times being a backup barber for people has saved a bill that I need to pay, has saved like a couple of bills that I need to pay, help me eat one day that I didn't want to spend money that I already had. Take being a backup barber for somebody that I hadn't seen in 2 months, 3 months, a year, and they come in. I'm like, okay, now I can go get lunch, because I didn't want to spend money for my regular clients that I've been cutting. Now this is money that I'm getting that ain't always coming in. It's extra money,
Exactly.
so I'm okay with that.
Like that.
Yeah,
Cool. Cool. Well, thank you for joining us. Like I appreciate your time, and you adding to the collection.
thank you for having me. Hopefully, I feel like after this podcast, now everybody gonna be hitting me up. So, Smile, be on the podcast.
Yes, that's the point.
Yeah, and I hope after this, and I hope I definitely like I said, the setup and how you've been taking everything as serious as you've been taking this since we've been here. I definitely see this way bigger than what it's at now. Even if this was just something you just happened to get in because somebody wanted you to try it out, and you just start feeling like, oh man, I love this. And this second episode, so I definitely know this ain't the last one. Ain't the last episode for you.
sure.
So when I do start seeing you in here, like we be watching the pivot and stuff like that, I'm like, man, I was one of the first ones to be on the show.
Yep.
So I definitely appreciate this opportunity. Like I said, this is my first one being on. I know other people that have podcasts, but I've never asked to be on there. So I'm definitely thankful for being on the podcast, even though I can hear myself in the head.
You're very welcome.
I'm
Yeah.
serious, but I appreciate it.
The whole goal of this is to pour back into people who poured into me, and I'll never forget when I was on my venture of getting my LLC and trying to get a better understanding. You was one of the ones who were consistent and really took the time to explain it to me. So now I have my LLC.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I've talked to a lot of people about the LC when I got mine, and I don't remember everybody I talked to.
Man.
Because to me, I know people charge for certain stuff. I was just like, man,
Yeah.
especially if I know you, like if it's somebody I don't know, I'm gonna have to try to like, who are you, like all that type stuff. But it's nothing. It was 2 minutes with me, like, go do this, don't do this, go do this.
Right.
Cause I'm still learning. Even when I was telling you, I was still learning stuff too,
Yeah.
figuring stuff out myself. So it was I was just helping.
Yeah. Dig
I just
that.
helping.
Oh, cool, man.
All right.
So thank you guys for listening. Again, this is my guy Smiles. Make sure you check him out. Let them know where they can find you.
I'm on social media on Instagram at Smilez Tha Barber, SMILEZ THABARBER. All of that is together. Hopefully, you can slow this down and do that again. Like, hear what I said. My media page is Long Street Smiles. I'm not gonna try to spell that out because I probably messed it up. But Long Street Smiles is my media page, and Smilez Tha Barber is my barber page.
All right, y'all. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Later.